Hi, this is Jaya. In today's video, we shall see an extract from Pandit Ravi Shankar's memoir, Fusion Music. Now, what is a memoir? Memoir is almost something like a biography, but it will not give you full details. That is, it will not give you a full life history, but it will bring back certain memories of the person. And so, when a person wants to write a biography and when he wants to share only a certain instances in his life, we call it as memoir. And in this memoir, Fusion Music, he writes about his friend George Harrison. And mainly he tells how his life is filled with emptiness and sadness without him because George Harrison died long before Pandit Ravi Shankar. And this made Ravi Shankar feel very lonely and sad because he thought that he will die before George Harrison because he is much elder than him, but George Harrison died before him. Now, who is this George Harrison? This George Harrison is a guitarist in the famous Beatles group. And Beatles is an internationally famous music group. And he came in contact with Pandit Ravi Shankar, learned sitar from him, and they became very good friends. And Pandit Ravi Shankar says that he met him 30 years ago. And George Harrison's childish nature and his shy and naughty little smile and his passion for all types of music, not just Western music but all types of music, and his serious interest in religion, particularly about old Vedic Hindu tradition, all these attracted Pandit Ravi Shankar. Not only that, this George Harrison was also a very down to earth person, which made Ravi Shankar become very close to him. They were so very close that they'll even crack jokes together and enjoy each one's company. And he says that George Harrison would have become a very great sitar player if only time had been there for him to live in this earth. And he says that he loved Indian music and he developed a lot of interest in it. And not only Indian music, he also loved Indian tradition. In fact, Pandit Ravi Shankar says that George Harrison was more Indian than many other Indians. And Pandit Ravi Shankar was actually performing all over the world from 1954. And after becoming associated with George, he started performing with him from 1960s. And since George belonged to the Beatles group and since George considered Pandit Ravi Shankar as his guru, Pandit Ravi Shankar was treated like a superstar by everyone. Not only that, because of George, he had Bob Dylan, Eric Clapton, Leon Russell and other very famous musicians to collaborate with him in his concerts. George learned sitar from Ravi Shankar, and he says that the way George learned, he thought that he'll one day become a very great sitar player. Not only that, they even recorded a few songs, a few albums together. And this recording has taken place in Ravi Shankar's house in Varanasi. And actually, their first recording was done in A&M Studios for his Dark Horse label. Then the second album was recorded in 1974. George was not only good in recording but also he was very good in editing. In fact, from the 40 years collection of Pandit Ravi Shankar's compositions, he was able to select the best ones and put them in a CD. Then afterwards he went through all the other musics which he had performed, and all that he brought as separate CDs called as In Celebrations. In fact, the last CD which they did together was Chants of India. And some of the songs were even composed in Madras. And not only that, their nearness also made them to become very, very close to each other, and they were planning to do many projects together. Pandit Ravi Shankar's greatness is making Indian classical music go high in the world stage. And for this, he also collaborated with many international musicians, and particularly the famous Beatles group. And we all know that George Harrison was the guitarist in this Beatles group. George Harrison developed a fascination for Indian classical music, particularly sitar, and he started learning from Ravi Shankar. And he considered Ravi Shankar as his guru. Both of them met in different places. Actually, first they met in London, and then afterwards they spent some time in Kashmir, and also they went to California and they learned together. And George loved Ravi Shankar more, not only as a guru but also as a friend, and he took care of his health and well-being. And this Guru Shishya relationship later became into a very cherished friendship. One day in Udaipur, when they were shopping for ornaments and for dresses and turbans of silver colorful materials, a big crowd gathered around him. And Ravi Shankar thought that since George was a member in the Beatles group, the crowd had come to see him. But actually, the crowd had come to see Ravi Shankar and get an autograph from him. George realized that the crowd had come there only for Mr. Ravi Shankar, and he became his bodyguard. He told the crowd to move on and not to disturb Ravi Shankar, and he safely brought Ravi Shankar near the car and saved him from these autograph hunters. And Pandit Ravi Shankar's daughter Anuksha and Pandit Ravi Shankar's wife Suganya were also attracted to George. And George had a very beautiful and loving wife called Olivia and a wonderful son, Dhani. And he says that George had a very magnanimous heart and always cared for others. He was a fearless and a beautiful soul, and he was very, very conscious of God. And Ravi Shankar says that he loved him dearly and he can never forget him. And he believes that though he is separated from him physically due to his death, he will be always alive in his heart. This is what Pandit Ravi Shankar says about George Harrison and his fusion music. If you have anything more to add on to this, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.